Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing yet another Pokemon Copic Marker illustration. I really love doing these Pokemon drawings because, I don't know, they kind of just became my thing, I guess. And you guys absolutely love them, so I'm glad to pump them out. Today I'm drawing MARSHADOW, which is actually a new Pokemon in the recent generation. So yeah, I believe it is a fighting and ghost type, which should be pretty interesting. And yeah, it's one of the new legendary Pokemon. It's not yet available in the games, but it's available on the trading card game. And yeah, I think it's such a super cute little Pokemon and powerful looking as well. So yeah, that's why I decided to draw it today. I am using my Copic Multiliners and also my Copic Gas and Fude pen to ink the liner, and you can see that I have actually done a little bit of hatching in this one, which I kind of have neglected that technique, and I thought, you know, why not? It's a really cool look and it kind of adds a little bit more drama to the piece. Now for the background, I wanted to do a sort of slightly simple background, but it still complements the figure in the foreground. So I decided to do like a sort of darkish background with some like glowy lines that kind of circle around the figure to draw your eye to the middle. And then between those like liney kind of glowy things, I decided to do a sort of sketchy textured pattern with my markers. So as you can see, I got the black marker and I just kind of scribbled it around in a kind of random pattern. And then after that, I went over the top with my really dark Prussian blue marker, and that kind of blended it out well and added a little bit of color so it wasn't just flat and like colorless. And yeah, it kind of gave it a really funky, dark, inky kind of texture to the background, and I really like it. I think it helps make the character stand out more. For the background glowy parts, I decided to use a bit of red and a bit of blue and a bit of purple because they're kind of in the same, well, they kind of like complement each other well because they're close together on the color wheel, and I thought that they would complement the character well because like there's a little bit of red on the character as it is, and the blue and purple kind of go well with the background, and yeah. I also added tiny little hints of green in the background, really subtly, just to sort of go well with the character because there's also a bit of green on the character itself. And now for the colouring of the character. I'm starting off with my pale yellow colour, and I'm just doing the tips of its, I don't know, glowy bits, like floaty bits on top of its head and arms. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but to me it looks a bit like fire. But yeah, I'm doing that because, I don't know, it seems to have two different forms for the character, so I decided to go with the more colourful one. And now for the red parts on its eyes, I'm using my crimson marker, and I decided to choose this colour because it was a sort of more of a pinky red colour instead of an orangey red colour, and I thought that that would go well with the green because you don't really want to put like an orangey red next to a bluey green because, I don't know, it would be a bit too striking. So I thought that the more bluey red would work better, and yeah, it was good. I'm glad that I chose that colour. Now for the transition between the green parts and the yellow parts, I decided to do a sort of unblended, flicky kind of transition, I guess. And yeah, I think it looks really cool how I did that, because it kind of just gives it a little bit more detail, and it kind of looks a little bit more like flames, I guess, except green. I'm actually really happy with the green on his forehead. It seems to have blended pretty well, and you can't really see too much streaks. I love when that happens with the Copic markers, and it's just a nice flat color. It looks so good, and it's like you can't really get that with any other medium, to be honest. Now for his body and face. I used cool grey markers for that, and at first I was actually a little bit worried because I didn't want his body to blend in with the background too much. So I stayed between C5 and C7 and a tiny bit of C9 as well, but very minimally. And yeah, it wasn't too dark and it was fairly different to the background, so I'm glad that that worked like that. Now for the reference I was using for this artwork, it seemed that Marshadow had a bit of a gradient on his face, so the darker grey on top and then the lighter grey below. So I ended up deciding to keep that in this, and I think it gives it a little bit more drama to the piece, and I actually really like that. And I also decided to give a little bit of and I also decided to add a little bit of cardinal to the red parts of the eye thingy-mabobs. And I really like that because it kind of just makes it pop a little bit more. It gives it a little bit more shadow. Now for the final touches of this piece, I decided to get out my white gel pen and fix the outline, because I did keep a rough white outline around the piece because I wanted to preserve that line art that I had done. So I'm just going around the outside and filling in bits here and there with white. And I really like adding a white outline around something with a dark background because it just helps it stand out a little bit more, helps it pop, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a finished feel to it. And then after I did all of that, I added a little bit of stars just around the character itself to try and give it a sort of glowing, powerful effect. And I'm really happy I did that because it looks pretty funky, and yeah. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know below if you want me to do more Pokemon artworks, because I know you guys do. And let me know if you would like a specific Pokemon, yeah. I hope you all guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. And yeah, have a lovely day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.